So the first thing you do is make sure that the spring tension is set to 7.5, and then once you've checked that, you mark the sliding roller's position on the top and bottom to give you a place to tighten it back to after you remove the spring.
Okay, we can take it out.
So once it's marked, undo your lock nut and then unthread the threaded rod all the way down. Hold that washer. So then remove the spring and the spring holder, put the threaded rod back in, and now move the jam nut to in between this bearing and the bearing holder so that you can lock it in place afterwards. So then once you've threaded the rod back in, it'll extend quite a ways. Just move the bearing back to where your original marks were. Alright, so then once you've removed the spring, you come down to the tail roller, and we're measuring between this point, this flat face here, and the center of the roller. And you want to make that even on each side. So from this point, it's roughly 3 and 30 seconds. Usually it's right around 4 inches. To confirm that, I'll measure this distance, which is critical, and then I'll confirm with this tensioner distance. This is less critical because it's susceptible to bending, so this distance is the critical one to set. You ready? After measuring the tail roller, we adjust either side to make them completely symmetrical from the center of the shaft to this reference point. Then we go from this reference point and measure the other adjustable rollers. So we'll start with this one, and then move to the 2 rollers further up from that same reference point that we measured the tail roller. And then we'll continue by making them equal on both sides before we try to adjust the tracking of the belt. So then once we've removed the spring, we have the jam nut is now moved down to the bottom, and we add a second nut to lock the threaded rod in this position as well. This will completely fix the floating roller, and it now becomes a fixed roller, so there's no movement and no jamming in the belt. So once we've stirred everything up, we first come down here and check the alignment on these 2 rollers. If there needs to be adjustment, we adjust the switchback roller. Then we come around to the end and we check the alignment on the tail roller.